Hello everyone, this is just a brief overview for week 9. This is a vacation week, but there are a couple of changes that I wanted to post up and acknowledge for the students who have made some requests and had some individual issues going on, including some of the people asking for extensions on rhetorical analysis final draft for a couple of reasons. Those are acceptable, so I've pushed those for the comp classes. Comp 1, I've moved the rhetorical analysis final draft dates to the 22nd. Just remember that your memoir rewrites are coming up on the 27th. Now, in the week ahead here, it's your Thanksgiving break, so enjoy that break. For those of you who are already caught up on the work, there's nothing else to do there besides make sure that those things that you needed to get submitted are submitted. The argumentation piece, there are a couple of reasons for this. Most significant among them, probably the same issues as rhetorical analysis, most of which dealing with following directions and taking a wild turn into subjectivity as opposed to objectivity, and not just having your own take on what's going on with assignments. And that's not the majority of students, but the students who are doing these things, it's taking me much more time to address student issues all term than anything else. I'm pulling the argumentation, so anyone who posted anything already of the summary with working thesis, or summary and working thesis and then preliminary points of support with a works cited page, if those things were done correctly and they were following directions and going towards a topic of the way that I presented it about solving a problem, those things, if those were there and they were done correctly and there weren't a number of issues, then I will post credit for those. But that's not what we're going to be working on. Otherwise, if I see that you posted something already and there are just a bunch of issues and it wasn't following the directions on those, or there were a bunch of things missing or incorrect, whatever the case may be, I just won't count it. So if you don't see a grade posted for it, just know that's not something we're going to concern ourselves with. We're going to move into an alternative assignment starting next week. Next week, Monday, I will probably already have the drop boxes posted up, at least the summary and outline for the next assignment before then, but next week the instructions will post with one of these instructional videos. A short research assignment will take its place on Monday of next week, the 28th of November. An instructional overview will launch by 8 p.m. as usual. Usually they're up anywhere between 3 and 5, but they always up by 8. The launch of the next week, along with the new drop boxes for the final assignment, those will be posted. The final assignment will consist of writing a short research report on one of 3 topics that are provided by the instructor. I will have 3 topics that you guys can pick from. You'll pick one of the 3. You'll do research on it. It'll be a very straightforward third-person objective research report. You'll post it. You'll post the summary outline in there, and then there will be, more than likely, we're not going to have a rough draft in this phase. We'll probably just go right from the summary outline into a final submission, and I will take that into consideration. The reports will be simple third-person objective papers that are devoid of subjectivity, as the rhetorical analysis and this argument were supposed to be. It was very difficult for students to adhere to that in a couple of instances. I shouldn't say a couple, 3 or 4 significant ones in each class. And having to deal with some of those things and other externalities from students have proven very difficult to keep up with in giving the time and attention to students who should be getting it. And with students that I've had dialogue back and forth with, this is not an issue of those things. Just note that if you haven't had already an open dialogue with me on things, you and I have already worked out what's going on with you. I've gotten verification on things, and you have adjusted, some of the assignments, and those have been addressed. Those are individual case by case. Overall, it's more of these things of some students doing things that are just way outside of what is going on with the requirements. This is a general composition course. One of the things that is really time-consuming is how many sentence-level issues there are in most people's writing at this level that I'm not accustomed to, and not at all taking any recommendations or adhering to anything about tutoring, so I'm getting the same type of confusing writing week after week after week. So the research reports here, instead of 10 sources, they will require a minimum of 5 peer-reviewed sources. But remember, those must be from the OCC databases, peer-reviewed sources that you can justify, prove anything in the research report that's put there. There won't be anything in terms of claims. It'll just be a report. When it comes time to do that, again, you'll be picking from one of the 3 topics. As long as you do the summary and outline the way that it's assigned, there should be no issue there, and then devise a draft based off of that summary and outline in the topics that are provided. I think that's about all that I need to cover at this time. I will just say in one reminder here about the ASC tutoring. Remember, at the beginning of the semester, a couple of things. One, prior to the term, and then week 1 and week 2, reminders about files all having to be Microsoft Word files. And every student, if they didn't have that, the 365 accounts are made available free through student accounts for students. That is something that I still have 7 or 8 students every single week out of about 46, 47 students not adhering to, and you're giving me all kinds of file types, including PDFs. PDFs are published document files. Those don't let me do certain inspection things on them, and sometimes they don't work correctly in the grading platform. You're selectively doing this and not giving me Word documents in those. In many of the platforms you are using, I know that you can export as Word, but I know that that was in the syllabus. And if in case this is something that escapes you, under your content file, go review your syllabus once more. There are several things with late submissions, not adhering to Word document files, are the type of submissions that you're supposed to be giving me. And then the final thing, ASC tutoring. I get it if you guys do not want to utilize this service because you think that it's something outside of your needs, or actually I shouldn't say that. The majority of students just seem to think that I have about 60-70% of students doing it, and then the other ones, I have a number of different reasons as to why. The issue of not having time, there's no really no good excuse there on this. In your syllabus, this wasn't a recommendation, it's a requirement for the semester that everyone do at least one. Otherwise, you get that detracted at the end of the term. This is Academic Support Center, and they offer both face-to-face and online services. This has been addressed since before the start of the term. If you're going to adhere to that, adhere to it. If you're not going to, then there'll be a penalty at the end of the term. I'm doing everything that I can all semester long to keep everyone on the same page. Please make sure that you at least are doing your part to keep yourself on the same page. You have the Academic Support Center that's here. They provide tutoring from each campus, face-to-face and or online, typically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at different times. There's also the net tutoring service, which is slightly different. You just need to make sure that this one is an online only. I prefer that students are using the ones that are OCC campus based, whichever campus you use, so that I know the people that they are people that I can have direct contact with if there's any type of discrepancy. Just make sure whatever service you use, if it's face-to-face or online, that you have them forward confirmation forms to me through the email so that I get those. All right? I will keep an eye out for those. They usually come through my email. And then this week, as I said, enjoy the week off, get the rhetorical analysis final drafts in. Next Monday, there will be a Dropbox that opens. There will be 2 of them. One will be accessible right away with the summary outline for a research report with all the guidelines there. So for on this week 9 content, you can ignore this portion. There's nothing additional with readings or videos. Readings you've done already are applied, will apply already to this. And make sure that you've watched these videos about doing research in our OCC databases. Okay? Other than that, enjoy Thanksgiving, and I will be checking back in with you guys starting next Monday.